Yeah, so it was a weird thing. So boys are here.
The whole deal and everything. Great to meet you guys. Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, these are great.
Thank you.
Incredible. So did you build these or?
We built them all from scratch.
Yeah.
Everything is built from scratch. It's mostly foam, a couple of 3D printed parts.
Yeah.
Great. Oh man. So it's funny, like I don't even have a Predator costume.
So what do they do with them after?
Disney has a giant warehouse that looks like the Raiders of the Lost Ark warehouse.
And they just sit
And
there.
they just wheel it in and they leave it in a crate and they walk away.
They should be in your office.
Yeah,
They should be in your office.
I had 2 animatronic and 2 stunt heads. Because you got to think it's a hand-sculpted, custom suit. So they sculpted it out of clay, and they have to cast it, and they have to run the foam, do all that stuff, and they have to individually paint each one. And they have to line it with like gusseting and everything. It was an intense process. But yeah, no, they were before you even started. So I got the 95 in January of 2021. I got the job. Technically, got the job in February, and March was my life cast. April they were building. May is when I did my first suit test. It was all black.
Oh, they built the first suit in less than 2 months?
Yeah, it was unpainted. It wasn't. It was just a black. It was just a black. Yeah, and yeah, and then I tried it on, and I'm like, oh man, this is so tight. I had to. So
there's a video. You posted a video of you trying it on the first time.
Yes, that was in May.
Yeah, it was in May.
I actually lost about 25 pounds to play because they wanted they wanted a really tight, dynamic Predator. And okay, fine. So I worked hard and I dieted and I lost the weight. But yeah, the first time I ever saw it fully painted was up on set in Canada, in Calgary. That was the end of June. Yeah, and then so I did all the acting, all the fighting, everything. Completely blind. I was looking at my feet the whole time, and I had to shrug my shoulders. Otherwise, it would look like a really stupid long horse nose.
Yeah.
So I had to think about that. There are all these different things I had to do to make it like just not look stupid first. And once I figured all that out, then I had to figure out the acting.
So you basically had to learn to move and to pose and to stand and
I remember when we wrapped, I told him, I said, I can't wait to see this movie because I haven't seen fucking anything. Because I shot the whole movie blind. And and then it worked out. I see, but
it worked out nicely, that's for sure. Yeah.
So how heavy? So those are all foam, right?
Yes, it's all foam. So they're not super heavy.
My head was 15 pounds.
Yeah, I've heard especially some of the older ones used to be stupid heavy.
Yeah, I had to train my neck for quite some time, and I still it feels weird to look to the left.
So it still hurts, eh?
Alright, he wants in.
Hey, how are ya? Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Guys, these look great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. You are much taller in person than you look.
Google says I'm 5'8".
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, I'm 6'1" and you're much taller than I am, so.
It's wild. I needed all the help I could get finding this guy. I was trying to make him look short. Yeah,
you know, you look, I mean, you in the movie, I mean.
Well, he's about 7'6".
Massive.
His head's in the neck.
So well, that's what he was saying, yeah.
So it's like up here.
Yeah.
So, how long did this take to put together?
I want to say about a year. About a year of working, off hours, nights and evenings and weekends. I mean, we have fun. That's
we have a lot of fun
People
doing
freak
it.
out when they see love Predator.
I saw this dude in the motorcycle.
Yes, that's pretty neat as well.
When I first got this run, I mean, I was a fan, but I didn't realize cult following that came with this, and then when the movie came out, I was like, okay, I kind of get what's going on here. This is a pretty big deal. And I mean, I deep dived with some of the forums and stuff and some of the fan things, but I didn't realize that worldwide. I was in Mexico shooting a show about a month ago, and
do your thing.
And I went to the Teotihuacan pyramids.
What?
Hear me out. I went to the Teotihuacan pyramids where the Sun Temple is and all the, and I'm looking, and there's predator idols everywhere. And I'm in Hidalgo, Mexico. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I stood at the right angle and I'm looking and I was like, AVP. This is where
it's the AVP pyramid.
It's where the pyramids where the xenomorphs and the predators were fighting, and I was like, there are predator idols everywhere. When we wrapped the show, there were like 300 crew members, and everyone wanted a picture of me, not with the character that I was playing the show, but it's because I'm the Predator. No, but they were saying that I'm a big Predator fan.
Exactly.
So everyone wanted a picture with the Predator, and I was like, we're on another show. I'm a whole different character. They didn't care. They wanted their Predators. Yeah.
It's massive. There's communities of builders that build the foam latex suits and
I find that
animatronic faces.
The UK and like South America have the biggest followers.
South America, really?
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
What do you think of this stuff?
This is new. This is my second one I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's insane. Because a year ago, I was on this side of the table. I've been to Monsterpalooza and Boston Comic Con, all that. And, I'm a fan first, and now to be over here, it's like this is crazy. It's still, to me, it doesn't feel real when I watch the movie because I'm like, that's not me, and it doesn't feel real being here and meeting you guys, talking to you guys, like. And what's funny is I was getting media trained for other interviews, and they're like, you need to be careful what you say because it becomes canon. When I say something about my Predator, it becomes. They're like, oh, is he bad blood? Is he?
I don't know. So whatever you publicly say, people will take that to the bank.
For me, it was cool because if you look at a lot of the other films, it's a lot of like just kind of replicating what Kevin did. And the first thing Dan told me was like, don't do the 1987 WWE wrestler lumbering. So he kind of granted me a lot of like creative freedom to do what I wanted with this thing. He set parameters, but within those parameters, I had a very high creative ceiling of how this guy would move, how he would look around.
So that's a good point, because that was a question I was wondering is when they decided in this movie that they were gonna make the Predator so fucking savage and just rip people apart with his own hands, like. Was that all just decided right by the writers that said this is how we're going to do it, or
Dan told me we're like this Predator is going to be different because historically a lot of the Predators in the other movies, big giant head, he wants a proportionate head, but there were some keywords he told me. One of the first things he told me were the keywords were primal, animalistic, feral.
Yeah.
It was funny, and I actually coined it. So I know that
the feral predator term that came from you.
Well, I know that each predator has a nickname.
Yeah.
And then the day they released the trailer, I tweeted, "We're calling him the feral predator,"
and that stuck.
And then that, like AVP Galaxy on the forums reposted that, and then like, and I
so
knew,
now
like,
you know that it's true. Right? Anything you say.
It's canon. It's canon. It's canon. And now, like, feral predator is the term.
Yeah.
Feral was just one of the few words that Dan told me to look into when it came to how he wanted this predator to move.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I was like, I'm going to tweet feral predator when they announce everything. And now feral is like the,
Yeah, you refer to it as the feral predator, 100%.
But he wanted it to be violent. He wanted it to be more of an animal. He's got that big giant back. He's hunched over. He doesn't care. He's just killing people.
He almost looks more like a werewolf than a person. Right?
Yes. And
you should the predator like just look like big people.
Yes.
You look 100% different.
If you see a picture of the back of the suit when I don't have the head on with the dreads, his back is like huge, and he's these huge giant lats behind him, and like he's just violent, and he's
must be a struggle to move in too.
It was tough.
I mean,
it was tough.
A big full latex suit. How long, like when you're in that suit, How long are you in that suit for?
16 hours.
Oh,
And it weighed 70
hours
pounds.
in a foam latex suit.
Yeah. Sweating, and it's just
You must
absorbing
have
all the
lost
sweat.
a lot of weight.
I did,
had
yeah.
to lose a lot of weight during that shoot.
Yeah. But you, in between shots, we could unzip the back sometimes.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Took 11 minutes to get into the suit. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And there were some days they let me come out at lunch, or we would switch suits because, like I said, we had 6 of them.
Yeah.
And each kind of had their own purpose. Right. So we had like a mud suit, we had a hero suit, we had a fighting suit, we had a suit for wires when I did wire work that had all holes in it.
Yeah.
It was tough. The hardest part was the head. Just like staying like this. Typically, normally I wouldn't have the head on for more than like 35 minutes at a time for each shot that we were doing. I think the record was 1 hour and 45 having the head on.
Yeah.
Balancing 15 pounds in my head, and that was trying. It's interesting. The toughest scenes to shoot were the ones where the action was simple. So like. The hardest day I had was when I was walking into the camp, right before I killed Raphael in the chest.
Yeah.
Just me coming out from behind the tent and looking around and walking, and it was too casual. It was too much like a cowboy. It was too cautious. Just those little tedious little things.
I mean, do it over and over.
Yeah. We did take after take after take. And yeah, it was crazy, but it was a lot of fun. And there'd be times where I'm like, ugh, and I'd be like, I'm the Predator. There's so many people I can't let down on this.
Yeah.
So I just would, and I feel like how many people would want to switch jobs, and like, so it's, it pushes you through, man. It's like, and I'm just glad I didn't do it for me. I did it for the fan. People deserve a good, scary,
it was
badass
awesome.
Predator.
Yeah. You did an amazing job.
I'm glad it all worked out.
Well, hopefully that they keep us going. Hopefully they do more with it.
I don't know if I have no idea what they'll do next. I hope they do something next. I don't know if they'll continue the story or if they'll do a completely other thing.
It's tough because they've never continued a story.
Right.
In The Predator, they've never had a second part to the actual story in the first part.
Well, that's kind of what makes Predator
right.
That's why Alien is a bigger following than Predator.
It does.
Alien, you can
follow the story.
Yeah, there's sentiment that comes with that.
Yeah.
You empathize with the characters because you know Ellen Ripley. Predator is just a different thing every time, and it's so I don't know.
I hope they do for you guys. I really do.
I hope they call me.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know?
Hey, super nice to meet you, man.
Great to meet you. Absolutely, man. These are great. These are awesome.